Yeah. This is a small design of a glass. I'm sure when you hold glass, generally there is a possibility when small children and all that it can slip and fall down. So assume that you make such a groove and then create a glass. I don't know why people don't create such glasses. Is there anybody who can tell me why? Why people don't create such glasses? It's a beautiful design, right? So that you have a hold. You are able to, yeah. Anybody who can answer? Our subject is design thinking.
Maybe we have to put it in the direction.
What's the problem?
We have to think the direction.
Yeah, we can hold this glass comfortably only in the right hand, but not the left hand. But we have a tendency to hold glass in both the different based on our situations, right? So don't think every time design works. It doesn't work. That's why empathy. It's an iterative process. You cannot say, yeah, it's very good. No, it's the user who has to tell it is very good or not. I can create a cup where I don't require a different plate to give the biscuits. I can keep it below that so that I can pick it up and then eat, plus have the cup, the coffee also together. Is the design good? Is this design okay? I want people to react. There are participants here. I told you design thinking is not one person, a thinker tells and then somebody listens. Everybody has to think. Check. Keep your thinking cap on your head. Is it a good design? Any fault, any trouble? Is it okay? Acceptable? I think everybody logged in and then they are on to their own business.
We cannot see.
Huh?
This is not true because we cannot see.
See here also, if you hold the cup in the left hand, the biscuit will fall. It's only made for one side holding. Okay, is this okay?
Yes, sir, but cost will increase.
Not cost.
But we can't fit the left hand.
Yeah, here also the same problem. See, otherwise I'm sure many people would have come into market with the different varieties. You can have a chair with a lot of books. No fault. Don't find fault with this. It's a beautiful design. That bookshelf is, you can make it rotatable so that you can pick up whatever you want. I know most of you know the floppy. Inside every floppy, there is a magnetic tape which is round in shape. That is what actually stores the data. So whenever you have a round shape, the geometry teaches you every circle can be encompassed by a square. Assume you have a square. If I want to insert in the diskette, in the hard disk given the basket, there is a small hole in which either a 9.5 or 5 and 5/4, which I want to insert inside, generally people don't even see. So how many number of errors you can have? You can have 7 errors, because only one way when you insert it will work. All the 7 different styles which you are inserting or trying to insert will make it not to work. That means there can be 7 mistakes out of 8 possible insertion inside the box. Now assume if I change the square into a small rectangle, it stops inserting sidewise, only front and back. So that means you are reducing the number of errors. 4 errors are reduced by just changing the square into a rectangle. I hope you are all with me. But that's also not enough. You can insert it 4 different ways, in which 3 can be error. So what was done? The inventor cut the corner. You can see a corner is cut there. When the corner is cut, what happens? There is only one way of insertion. So nobody can insert a hard disk, the floppy inside its cabin. Only method is one method, only one way. So how many errors will be there? 0. So this is a beautiful design probably which I have seen. A architecture perfection is defined in the Vastu Shastra in India. Vastu Shastra is not in which direction what is to be kept. Whether kitchen has to be in the puja room or puja room has to be in the toilet place. That's what people say. It's not that. It also speaks about how the handle of the door has to be fixed. When you want to push, it has to be horizontal. When you want to pull, it has to be vertical. The handle will tell you whether the door is to be pushed or pulled. I don't know how many the modern architect, modern people knows this. See, here I drew only 3 circles with a small gap and a triangle. But I am sure most of you are seeing a invisible triangle which is not drawn inside that. That is creativity. Sometimes solutions are not explicit. It lies inside your idea. Understanding that is what is most essential in the world. So understand that ability all of us have. That is what makes us more beautiful, more powerful. Every animal also has got a high creativity to use when it has to hunt for its meat. When you have that ability to become more powerful, a leadership quality inside you, you are called a leader. It is not that somebody get elected. It is not that somebody grasp it with the people around. It is you who has to decide, I have that ability. So your creativity, your leadership, your design thinking ability, nobody has to identify. It's you who has to identify, and you are some person supposed to market it. That's how the lion became the king of the forest. It is not the creativity of a writer who decided the lion is the king of the forest. The lion himself said, yeah, I am. Na abhishekaho na samskaraha simhasya kriyate vane vikramarjita saptasya. It add itself saying that swayameva mrigendraja. Swayameva mrigendraja. I decided that I am the king of the forest. So your dreams can definitely come true. You can decide what you want. You can achieve what you want. When you think you are creative, that ability comes inside you. God has given solutions for most of the problems. It's your eye, your indriyas, which makes you to see that, for which you have to open that box of creativity. solution will be very close to the problem. There is a saying, coconut oil creates a lot of cholesterol. You know, the solution for cholesterol is the coconut shell itself. You take the coconut shell, dry it, clean it properly, smash it, put it in water and then boil and drink. Cholesterol will come down. So for every problem there is a solution very close to that. It's your view, your idea, which makes difference. There are massive, great designs in the world. Look at them. Learn how to reach that goal. I'm sure there is a hand-holding given by most of the centers. The SR University has got an incubation center. It's like a hand-holding. You want a help? Pull you up. That's very, very essential in most of the situations. You can look at how do you learn from nature. What is used on the horse saddle, which is exactly what is used in the cycle. You can see a lot of similarity in the shape, the way people migrated from one idea to another idea. There are beautiful innovation videos. I think most of the people use bicycle as one of the best idea for making small. Tamil Nadu people made a mixie which works out of cycle with the rotation, where there is no electricity. People can take and then serve the colony, go around the village and then help people to grind. All that based on cycles. So whenever I look at new innovation, that's what I see. What you see being pulled by the children, actually the water was carried in a rectangular basket. Later they found that you can carry water for long distance by changing the shape of the can to that of a cylinder with a hole in the center so that they can pull it. So that idea came from what is seen. When you wanted to create a wheel, how you shape this, the wheel shape which is exactly copied in carrying water. So this is a water. So the small solution for a big problem or a big solution for a small problem. It all the way you look at it. These are all great ideas. This is how do you mix with nature. The swimmer changes. You can get that idea from the tribal dance, which people have got a costume similar to that. You must look at the Walter Levin. If you have not seen the YouTube programs of the lecture given by Professor Walter Levin in MIT and all that, for the love of physics. How do a teacher can be highly creative in teaching? Nothing better than this. The physics principles of pulley is used in every lift which you use for going from one floor to the other floor, which I used in my house to create a beautiful self pulley which becomes a great fun for people. So what is essential? Look at all the data, analyze yourself and turn into information, learn and create that as your knowledge, practice and use in different places to create that as a skill, add ethics, value, morality, society, commitment, add it with wisdom, use it in different places, in different society, different applications. That's experience. Is it not an iterative process of knowledge? This is a illustration of a slide which you are seeing in blue, which I created from the Vivekananda's great quote called education is man making. I am sure the knowledge what we gain is always for the purpose of creating knowledge for people in a different style. I am sure all of you must have seen this movie, English, Sridevi, entrepreneur, the word is used there. So there is a golden triangle: innovation, investment, entrepreneurship, which I already told you the performance, which I don't want to repeat it. So your classroom also can be highly productive classroom from a reproductive classroom. Generally classrooms we learn something and use it and then by heart. Probably I'm using some of the slides what I used earlier, but I'm sure I'm going to post this onto YouTube. It will be entirely different lecture because each time my thought process have improved from the experience which I gained over 1 year. It's me who has to change. That's what is. You don't have to be innovative all the time. At least some improvisation in the way in which you look at it. That is essential. That will come when you have got a good satsang, good people around you. That's what is most essential. Okay. So there are in what you can do in your neighboring places. Tomorrow I am there in Aksharavanam in Hyderabad, 100 kilometers away from here, where an education brainstorming is going to happen, for we think about what is to be done. What is the new path towards taking children towards an innovative, creative learning system. So you can have maybe challenges, have a brainstorm, start thinking. That is what I make myself busy. And then today afternoon I am talking to the teachers of primary schools in Dubai. You know, GEMS school is the largest set of the most number of teachers employed in the world is by GEMS schools, the set of schools which I have got in India, Africa, Dubai, Pakistan, many places. I am talking to their primary class students, the teachers who are taking care of the small children. Afternoon I have a session with them. I am sure as a teacher you can be highly innovative to change the style in which the delivery pattern happens, because you are driving the next generation. Otherwise, if you are all teachers from the engineering colleges, I am sure we produce 3 lakhs of engineers, but 0.02% is only useful. The rest of them are all useless. That is because we are not making them professionals. Making many people to convert the abstract idea into product, the concept into product. That is what is called engineering. So you must make that possible. That is where when you can call yourself as a maker. So what is the product from the college? It's all business, it's all products, it's all engineers. So you are the master where you can give inspiration, give ideas, give chance for implementation. All that together becomes the design thinking. It's an approach to a problem, not solution to problem. It's a philosophy, it's a thought process which gets inspiration, ideation, implementation, and in the sequence, what happens, we will look at it. Empathize, understand what is the problem which people want. Most of the entrepreneurship design thinking classes starts with this slide. It's very common. You can copy from anywhere. I copied it from Stanford. Empathize and define, which is not a direct step. It's not a linear step. It's an iterative step. Keep on thinking. Then ideate. Define the problem. Then ideate. Look at in which frame you are to see. The frame defines it. Then from there you get the idea. Then what is to be done? I am sure mechanical engineers will be knowing what is prototyping. So take it. The 3D printers have given a lot of chance for all of us to prototype anything. So create a prototype. Then test it. While testing, you are again talking back to the empathize, because there is a user who defined what he wants. Every solution is for a problem, and the problem is defined by the user. So I am sure the testing has to be in tune with the user's idea. Then only it becomes practically useful product. This is what the steps in design thinking. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype and test. I am sure that is what is design thinking. To create confidence, it's a mindset. I said design thinking is a mindset for which what is essential? Create confidence. All the stakeholders who are all participating must tell them, yes, it works. That's how it is working. That's how many great things happened. I give an example of the St. Louis pillar. It's not one man. Idea is from one man, but I'm sure it's a great teamwork. Make it. If there is a failure, learn from failure. That's what empathy. Get feedback. Talk to the people. It's all human centric. The design is human centric, the user centric. It is not the designer centric. I don't design how I want. There is always a saying, the learner decides how he wants, but not the teacher. Unfortunately, even when I called for interaction questions, I am not seeing. Because that is how you teach, but that's not my style of teaching. It's actually boring. Putting some ideas without any feedback. So I take this probably after few minutes more, we will spend time only with the questions and answers. That's what is empathy. Understand what is that the user require. Iterate. That can be all based on the person who they want. So inspiration comes in the empathy and define, that's area. Then ideation. That's where you define the solution for the problem. Then iteration. Because prototype will tell you that test, it find that there is some problem. Then rework on that. That's what is iteration. This is what is essentially what is to be done. Here, build a team. It's not individual. I kept on telling, it's not individual. Do secondary research. I told you, look at whether something happened, where it happened. Vision, but then mission. Mission is see what happened in different places. I remember asking young students who are all my students to write a book. I asked them to write an article. Vision, mission. Look at what is happening in the world. If you don't know what is happening in the world, you cannot change, development cannot happen. The book is Raising of India by the Raise of India. The youth who are creative, I want them to raise India to a higher level. Look at different options from different places. That's what I said. So that's a learning story. When you look at somebody else, you will learn a lot of learning stories which people have done. That will give you inspiration. And then define your insights and then get into ideation. Generate ideas, get feedback, make it workable. This is what the design thinking process is. I'm sure you must ask when, who, what, how, why, where, all www. And if you are a design thinking person, when solution comes to you, you will immediately say, wow, W will start. The end also is W. That's what happens. So I'm sure you have got a lot of platforms in which you can find different user-centered approach, empathy map, the problem and its solution, where do you fit the product in the market, the setup, what is the focus, what you have to look at, all that can be seen people centric. What things makes people happy? Making people want things. Making things people want. I told you, invention comes not from necessity always. It is the technology people who push some items to the field and then people start making use of it. But I'm sure as design thinking process happens, when IT, people who are engineers, people who are technology handling people, we have got dual role, because we are both a person in the society and also we are the people who can think beyond them. So therefore ask yourself, how can improvise small things in the world? That's how different culture, different structure, different platform. So you have to be locally talk to people and fit that product for that market. It is not all world, everything, everywhere, same thing. Even a small advertisement movie, when you make, if you are not with the people in the local culture, you will be upset. Instead of promoting, people will reject it immediately if you are not fit with the pattern in which they accept things. So the product, the solution, what you give in the market has to be exactly fitting, which is accepted by people. That is what is essential. I think that is where I started the lecture by quoting Kelly. Probably Kelly sort of a person made a lot of differences. That's what the creativity in each one of us made differences. So this is what I have to tell you now. Probably next few minutes we will have some questions, immediate questions, and then probably after this small break, the next session we will pick up a lot of similar questions. This is what I wanted to tell you now. Is it okay? Are you in tune with me? Are you able to grasp at least some ideas about the design thinking? It's a philosophy, I'm sure. Don't look at it as an engineering topic or technology topic or tool or a computer science or machine intelligence or anything. It's a way of thinking. Now you take your problem and then see how you can implement it and look at it. That is what is the essence of design thinking, because it's a portion of thinking, it's philosophy, it's management, it's business, it's the key rule for entrepreneurship. Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to ask, or probably